I'm gonna rant for a little bit, okay? So if you don't know me, my name's Stefan. I'm just some fucking kid who likes to camp and somehow find a way to make a good bit of money online, and now I just share my lessons and hope I can inspire you, help you do the same thing, okay? So here's the deal. I truly believe that 90+% of your business problems, your entrepreneurial problems, your sales problems, your setting problems, your problems in business, especially in sales. Like I want to put a huge emphasis on sales, but I want to expand this to not just sales, but everything that encompasses in business could be solved by you being more human. Now I'm going to dive into this because I've been writing a book about this lately, or a book, Google Doc, call it what you will. Maybe this probably take me 10 plus years to figure out. But I've been writing a lot about this idea of being more human. This idea of being human. And the reason why I say this is so many of us don't actually act human. Now, when I say act human, what does that mean? Well, when someone says be more human, we're referring to, or what we're insinuating is, be more of the thing that makes you what you are that other people are not. So for example, humans, we're not the only species on the planet that can communicate, but we are one of the most well-spoken, most effective communicators. I mean, we're not really anymore, but we have the ability to communicate in a very cool way that a lot of other animals do not have the ability to do so, at least not to the extent that humans do, right? We have a brain that can function and process so many different things. We have cool eyes, a lot of other stuff, right? And so to be human means to lean into the things that make us human, that separate us from all the other mammals in the world. And so that may be the ability to speak like this. That may be the ability to think critically and logically and creatively, etc., right? That's these differences. That may be the ability to be authentic, to be authentically who you are. And there's lots of other things. And then there's one other thing, which is to understand humans' core desire. Right? Humans on a fundamental biological level have the same core desires, right? There's something called the LF8, the life force 8, which stands for the 8 life forces that we as humans all have. And some of them being like the need for food and water, the need for shelter, the need for sexual companionship, the need for approval and status, and just like survival, right? And safety, etc. Those are some of the basic things. Even if like I'm on Maslow's hierarchy, those are some of the basic things that we as humans need. And so it's funny because all of us are humans. If you're watching this video, I take it there's probably not a dog watching this. It's probably just humans. And a lot of people that I call review for, I do a lot of call reviews inside my Discord, a lot of, cold call reviews, sales call reviews, script reviews, etc. It's weird to me how many people are so robotic and so unaware of so many almost evident issues with what they're doing until someone brings it up. For example, I had a guy and like he was cold calling, and he opened up the cold call with saying, "Hey man, I'm a marketing agency trying to pitch you something. Can I talk?" That's basically what he said. And of course everyone was like, no, because nobody inherently wants to get sold, because selling typically implicates that you do not have something, which means that you are at lower status, and therefore no one wants to openly admit that they have problems because it lowers their status. And one of the things, if you know, on the LF8 is status. People crave and seek status. And so when you openly admit, hey, I'm trying to sell you something, I'm trying to take something from you, which people don't already like, and want them to admit that they need something you have, which insinuates that they have lower status than you, people don't want to open up to that. People don't want to admit to that. And so instantly people's guards are up, and they have this knee-jerk reaction to say, oh, no, I'm good, and they just pass off. Right? And it's weird because on the outside looking, and we look at this and go, oh my goodness, dude, what an idiot. Why would he say it? Why wouldn't he at least start with hey, hello, etc.? But it's funny how many people do this in different realms. And this is why I think surrounding yourself with a group of guys or group of people that are doing the same thing as you, and having, a network and people that can give you feedback, etc., is super important. Because even myself and even big entrepreneurs make so many mistakes that we are so unaware of until someone points it out. I was on a call the other day with my inner circle, my wolf pack, and one of the guys brought up an ad, and he's like, hey, I've been running this ad for last year, and all of a sudden stopped performing. And all of us looked at the ad like, dude, what the fuck? We can't read this. There's too much text. The font is off. The colors blend in. It's hard to see what's even going on. I don't even know what you offer. It's confusing. And it was all over the place. And the guy was like, oh, fuck. He's like, you guys are right. How did I notice this all these years? And it's because we get so blind to our own things, to our own bullshit, to the own things we believe. We get so blind to those things that we totally just... It just goes, it's water on the bridge. It just goes by, so we don't even realize it. And so this idea of being more human is to look at things from a bird's eye view. Look at things from a third person perspective and just objectively look and go, If someone did this to me, how would I feel? If someone cold called me the way I'm cold calling, what would I say? And be honest. And most of the time, you realize like, wow, I'm being so awkward. I'm being so weird. I'm just not being normal. No wonder why no one's willing to talk to me. No wonder why no one's willing to book an appointment. No wonder why nobody's willing to give me the time of the day. No wonder why nobody's willing to close on my offer. It's because I'm being robotic. I'm being unauthentic. I'm being disingenuous. I'm being weird. And the thing is, on a surface level, this may not resonate, but I hope that you can start to look at your own situation and apply this. But even in sales, so many of your sales problems would be solved if you understood the human brain more. If you understood human psychology, so many, I'd argue almost all of your sales problems would go away. Because a lot of times people ask, like, oh, what question should I ask? Well, if you understand human psychology, right, and understanding, well, how do I get somebody to do something I want them to do that's in their best interest, you would understand what questions to ask and how to ask those questions and when to stop asking questions and when to chip in and when to interrupt and when not to and when to sit back and when to keep questioning, when to probe, etc. You would understand all these things if you understand humans. Because if you understand humans, you understand why we say the things we say and how we operate the way we do. But if you don't understand human psychology and you just sit here listening to a Jeremy Miner video and he tells you, oh, ask this question, this question, this question, probe, but you don't understand why, you'll do it in the wrong context and you won't get the results you want. I see this all the time. People are doing NEPQ and all this probing and stuff, but all the prospects are just saying is, dude, just stop, cut the bullshit. Tell me what this is about. And people are like, they're confused. They're like, well, why is this questioning sequence not working? Jeremy Miner used it and Jeremy Miner is good, so why doesn't it work for me? And that's because Jeremy Miner understands the intent and the context behind those questions. You don't. And that's where the issue is that you don't get why somebody asked the questions. And so you ask the question but without understanding why, and therefore it doesn't make any sense. It's like if someone makes a joke and they know why they made the joke and it's funny and everyone laughs, and you make the same joke but you don't know why, and then you wonder why no one laughs. It's because you didn't understand the context of the joke. And so I've seen this with little kids, like someone will make a joke and everyone will laugh in this context, and that little kid would go and say the joke somewhere else and no one will laugh because they didn't use it in the right context. They thought the joke is what made that thing funny, the words that they said, but it's not. It was the context of when he said the words. And this is a lot of times what jokes are, right? Like sometimes when jokes go too far, it's not because the joke is actually bad, it's just that in that context. Right? Imagine if you told like some sort of like death joke at a funeral. It wouldn't be funny. But out with your boys, out on a late Friday night, it is funny. It's context. It's not the joke itself, it's the context. Once again, same with sales. It's not the actual question, it's the context, it's the purpose, it is the intent behind those questions. That's what makes them good. That's what makes them work. And so once you start to understand this, you realize that sales, especially in business, but just sales specifically, isn't so much about the questions you ask, but more so understanding the person. It's more so understanding that person, their brain, their thoughts, their etc., to understand what they're doing, where they're going. Right? It's much like a chess match. Like, okay, where are they going? What are they going to say? Where are they going to go next, etc. And it's like a dance. You're trying to work with them. And the thing is, if you stop looking at sales as I'm trying to take someone's money, screw them, I'm going to sell them something, etc., I actually ask them these questions. If I ask them these set of questions, they will then answer me in a positive way. And look at sales as, hey, this is a person that has a brain, that has a mind, that has a heart, that has a body, has a soul, and they're human just like me. And so therefore on some fundamental level, we are the same. Now, this person is obviously here because they want something. Or at least that's what I would have to assume is they want something. And so how can I help them get the thing they're here to get? And when you look at it that way, sales becomes easy because now instead of trying to force somebody and ask all weird questions, you ask the logical question. And you ask the question that makes sense to help them do the thing they already want to do. And then you just push them over the edge to help them make that decision, because that's really what sales calls are for. It's because somebody's there because they want to buy, but they can't do it themselves because they need more information or some whatever the case is. Therefore, they're on the call with you. Otherwise, they would have already bought. Okay? So, I know, like I said, this can be a rant, and so this can be all over the place. But I think the thing I just want people to take away, and the thing I hope I'm sharing here, is that, let me get a sip of water. You should do the same. Get a sip of water with me. Is that sales, business, entrepreneurship would be easier if you started to actually think with your own brain and acknowledge other people and their brain and the way they think. Now I know it sounds like a very weird, far-fetched statement, and I realize that. But I truly think if you can stop looking at sales as this weird anomaly thing that you just need to write a script for and then magically you'll make a bunch of money, and understand that sales is a lot more than that. But as a matter of fact, it's simpler in the sense that it's just understanding human psychology and humans and what they want, etc. I think sales become a lot easier for you. And the thing is, this doesn't just go for sales. This goes for a lot of other things in life in general, even in relationships. Like, instead of trying to play games all the time, if you just understood hypergamy and basic, human psychology from a woman, from a feminine, and from a masculine perspective, everything will be so much easier. Because now, instead of trying to act a certain way, you understand why that works. Instead of trying to not reply intentionally so the girl likes you, you gotta understand, well, why do they like that in the first place? Well, they like that because the hypergamy, like, if you know what hypergamy is, basically that women date up, men date down. It's how it works. So women are always looking for someone better, men settle. That's how it works, okay? And so the woman always wants the best man. And so the reason why women like guys that don't reply to them all the time is because that insinuates that you are busy, which means that you are chasing a purpose. It means that you have something going for you in your life, which women like, because once again, they want to be with men that are better than them. And so, given this, you got to understand that, in relationships, it's not about not texting back, but it's about having shit to do that you're actually too busy to text back because you're doing stuff. And that's where the attraction comes from. It doesn't come from not texting. It comes from you actually having things going for you, and as a byproduct, you're too busy to text all the time. So once again, if you're just trying to not text for the sake of it, you're only going to harm yourself, because you're now you're like, oh, should I text or should I not? Should I not? And now you're playing games to yourself, and you're just hurting your own fucking ego and your own mind. Or you're fucking yourself over. But if you understand the why that works, why women don't want you to text all the time, why they want you to sometimes, be up and down and pull back a little bit, etc., then you can actually do the thing that they're truly attracted to, not just the smoke screen in the middle that you think it is. It's the same with asking questions on sales calls. Instead of just asking the questions because you heard someone say ask these questions and you thought they were good and that's what people want, if you understand why you ask those questions, what the purpose of those questions are, what the intent of those questions are, you'll go so much further. Right? Because now you'll understand what you are doing. And this is so crucial. So, whether you take this for relationship advice or for business advice, it doesn't matter. But the point is, don't just do things for the sake of doing. Do it to understand. Understand why you're asking certain questions. Instead of asking another probing or consequence question, find out why. Understand why that psychology works. Because when you understand it, then you know when to use it. And that's when you become good. That's when you level up. So here's the deal. I know I'm kind of ranting, going all over the place, up, down, left, right, and center. But I truly think that this lesson, the thing is, this video will get no views because there's no sexy way to word this stuff, but it's the real value that a lot of people need to hear is this, right? Is the understanding the human psychology part. So if you are here, you're on the right foot, okay? You're on the right foot and you will do something with your life. So keep it up, keep fucking crushing, and be more human. Because we live in a world where there's so many fake people, so many AIs, and so many people putting on masks to pretend to be someone they're not. There's a lack of authentically true, real humans. And so be more human because we lack it. And that is the very thing that makes us so unique and special in the first place.